Hello, people of YouTube. This is Gray's Guitars. I am Steve Gray. Thank you for watching. Today we are talking about tariffs again because why not? Why not? Let's talk about tariffs again. So initially I said it wasn't going to affect the used market because the guitars are already here, so why would it affect the used market? The market is already oversaturated. But ultimately, that is going to depend on how long the used market stays overly saturated. You know, right now you can find pretty good deals on stuff across the board if you wait a little bit. Some people like myself just hold out, have a few things up for sale or for trade, and not really in a hurry to sell, so it doesn't really matter. But for the people that need to get rid of that thing quick, or just want to get rid of it, or whatever else other the circumstances, then it's kind of up in the air. So it's ultimately going to depend on how long we have the surplus of guitars on the used market. So if there's enough for a while, a couple of years, the prices really won't change. It'll be a while before you see any significant price increase in the used market. But if it's something where people are like, oh, I got to buy a used guitar right now because it's going to jack up the prices of the new ones, and then people are going to be like, oh, well, hey, that Squire like this, that was $100 because there's a 125% tariff. That's right, I said 125% tariff. It would go up to $225. We're going to stick with that $100 figure because it's a nice round number and easy to calculate things. So a $100 guitar would become a $225 guitar, and not many people want to pay $225 for a guitar that was previously selling for $100. On the used market, you're probably lucky to get $50 out of it. And what people are going to do is because, oh, hey, now that guitar is selling for $250. I bought it for $100, so I'm going to sell it used for $150 as opposed to $50. So it will ultimately trickle down, if you will, and then eventually when there is not enough used guitars to go around anymore because everybody bought them up because they're freaking out because of the tariffs, then it's going to increase the prices again. Will it ever get to a point like during COVID where everybody was buying everything super quick, super fast? I don't think so, because a lot of people are not sitting around stuck in their houses anymore, so the market has definitely cooled off a lot. But that is what's going to happen. So used gear will become eventually more expensive. It might be 6 months to a year down the road, but it will. As the used market depletes, as there's less and less gear to pick through, because more people are going to be buying used as opposed to buying new, that's what's going to happen. Used gear is going to become significantly more expensive because the new gear is significantly more expensive. That's unfortunately how it works, how it is explained to me, and it's going to suck if it stays in effect. The main tariffs are going to be on China. A lot of stuff is on pause right now, but the stuff on China is going to hurt a lot of people because that's where most Americans, people living in the USA, and Canadians and Europe and generally the entire world get a lot of their stuff. There is no cheaper labor than China, to my knowledge. There is no cheaper labor. Where, you know, you make a guitar, the reason a USA guitar costs so much is because of the labor. It's not because of the parts. The parts are all the same. The construction's all the same, typically. It's because of the labor, where, you know, in the US, you got to pay a guy minimum $7.25. Depends on where it is. Federal minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. You got to pay him benefits, workers' comp, disability, insurance. Where you go to China, and I don't fully know how China's market works, but I'll be honest with you, they're getting pennies on the dollar. And literally pennies on the dollar compared to what we're getting in the USA. So you're not going to find a cheaper labor market. The price to make things over there is ridiculously cheap. You know, I was looking at Poison Noises, if you're familiar with them. He was semi-local to me, not anymore. I think the guy moved, and I don't know what the heck's happening with the company anymore. But he was talking about, like, okay, you know, I can get a pedal to a $100 pedal to a person that's going to resell it for $70, and he still had a profit margin. But how can he compete with a $20 Behringer pedal? You can't compete with that because the components are just significantly cheaper to produce over there, and time and assembling things and paying workers here, it's just significantly more expensive. So even if you decide to buy only USA, it's still going to be more expensive than buying China, even probably with the 125% markup, because, as I said, $100 goes to $225, but at the same time, you go to a USA guitar, good luck finding a made in USA guitar built in the last 5 years, that's under $1,000. It's pretty hard to find. You know, even like the base model Fenders and Gibsons, I think on the website, brand new, I think the cheapest one is $1,500, $1,600 right now. So you're just not going to find it. So that's what's going to happen is new gear gets more expensive, used gear will progressively get more expensive, and it's just going to collectively suck for everybody. Guitar parts, even the USA manufacturers, a lot of the stuff they buy is from China, from Taiwan. A lot of the electronics, the frets, tuners, hardware, all of that stuff is coming from China. It's the cheapest place to get it. That's where it's manufactured. It's cheaper to buy it off of them than have them manufacture it over here. And that's just where it's going to be. So I think this is going to be a shorter video, but I figured just do kind of an update to the tariffs. I would say if you want to buy a guitar, do it now. This is going to, just a lot of people might be flooding to new guitars right now, but do it now before the prices kick up even higher, because eventually they will. If it stays in effect, things are going to get more expensive, and that $2,000 guitar, maybe now it's $3,000, or that $3,000 guitar, maybe now it's $5,000 if you're going on the high end of things. But that's where we're at. So until next time, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, leave a like, comment down below what you want to see for future music, guitar related content. And as always, thank you for watching. Have a good one.